Welcome back to the second part of this mini-series on mental health. There's always someone that we know who loves us completely, who would do anything for us, and we feel the same way about them. And there comes a time when their love isn't enough for us. Their love, their caring isn't enough to fill the hole in our soul. Now this is very frustrating both for us and for them. All along they've been able to feed us, to keep us feeling some way sane. Then one day their love isn't enough. And for them, they don't understand why suddenly they aren't enough for us. Their love isn't enough for us. Being in our lives isn't enough for us. We're pushing them away. It's just, we've lost all sense of them being sufficient for us. And the problem is, we've mentioned before, is the hole in our soul. The hole in our soul, when we block ourselves off from the source, we're trying to fill this hole in our soul, which gets deeper and deeper the longer we are away from source, the longer away from connection to life. It gets deeper and deeper. And no one outside of ourselves on this earth can fill us. Our loved ones, our wives, our husbands, our parents, always before maintained some sense of balance for us. But now, their love isn't enough. It just isn't enough. They can't understand it, we can't understand it, but their love isn't enough and we can't explain it. We try therapy, medication, addiction, alcohol, drugs, gambling, sex, anything else, sugar, anything else that'll fill the hole in our soul. But there's nothing on this earth that will fill that hole. So we're left broken, feeling lost and alone and misunderstood. And we go deeper into this disconnection from source. So in this practice I'm going to teach you a practice whereby you're going to allow God to give you, to fill that hole in the soul with you, for you. And to do this, there's a few things I need you to do first. You're going to find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed for about 20 minutes. Have a glass of water beside you, so you can take a sip of water before you start and a sip of water when you're finished. In this process, try and keep your spine straight. So whether you're sitting up or lying down, try and maintain your spine straight. If you're laying down, place a pillow under your upper thighs and a pillow under your neck, so you can flatten your back and help to straighten your spine. If but for any reason you can't manage this, you're disabled, you're in a wheelchair, and for some reason you can't straighten your spine, in your mind's eye, visualize your spine being straight, just for this process. Now, the next is to score your condition. Now, when we score your condition, I don't want to trigger you by talking about your condition, but in your mind's eye, right now today, on a scale of -10 to -100, how bad would it be today? And it's your score. We're not compared to anybody else's. So maybe a -30, it might be a -60. You pick a score for this. If it's where you're numb to your feelings, it's -10 to +10 is how numb you are, how disassociated you are. That would be a scale for that. And then +10 to +100 is where you're free of your troubles, how good you feel today and that your troubles aren't disturbing you. Now, because this is going out to a wide audience, I'm using the word troubles to represent anxiety, depression, disassociation, self-harm, eating disorder, whatever it is that you have. The word troubles will represent that for you. And in this practice also, I'm going to use the term child to represent each person, man, woman, or child, who's listening to this. So when I share about child and troubles, I'm talking about you as a person with your condition. So you've scored it, okay? And this is basically what you're going to do. You want to just allow God in. Remember, you're allowing God to take your troubles from you. It's for a 24-hour period only. We all know how much our condition is a part of who we are. Sadly, we all need to have some purpose in life, some idea of identity. And it's got so much in such a way that we can be identified by, I have depression, I have alcoholism, I have disassociation. It gives us some sense of identity in this world, some substance. So the idea of taking this from you forever would be just too challenging for you. The pain you know is better than the pain you don't know. And having depression is much better than the idea of what would happen if you give up depression, what else would be around the corner. So in this process, God will take your troubles off you for 24 hours. And when I first did this, 24 hours was too much. So I broke it into 3 8-hour periods. I did this before I went to bed at night, and I had 8 hours. I asked for 8 hours of peaceful sleep, and I received 8 hours of peaceful sleep. When I woke up in the morning, I asked for 8 hours from 6 a.m. until 4 p.m. And then at 4 p.m. I went into the local bathroom in the office and sat down, and I asked for 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. at night. So you work out your schedule that works for you, that makes this work for you. And then later on I changed it to asking for 8 hours night's sleep, and then maybe from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock to get through my commute to work, and and then from 9 to morning allowances, and then at 11 o'clock did it again to get me up to my lunch break, and then my lunch break get me through the afternoon, and so on. You work this for yourself, whether you ask for 5 minutes, or 5 hours, or the 24 hours. God will take it off you for no more than 24 hours at a time, and at the end of that, you ask Him again for more. Okay? So score your troubles, relax your body, and bring yourself into this openly, honestly, and with willingness to let God in, let Him take this from you. Allow my words to sink into your psyche, and be open to this practice. Thank you very much. I'll see you in a few moments.